This is the Conversation Havers Podcast with your hosts, Collin Hayes and Trey Cromartie.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 28th episode of the Conversation Havers Podcast. My name is Collin.
My name's Trey.
I am Tony.
Yeah, so we've got another guest today, other Tony. So we've had Tony Brooks twice.
Tony Storm Surge.
Yeah,
that's his
Tony
last
Storm
name.
Surge. Or Tony Mono. And this is Tony Hinojosa.
Yeah. Also, Tony Brooks is a really cool dude. He was in my orchestra class, so
Yeah, he's smart.
we got along really well.
Yeah, so Trey, you've got any interesting facts for us today?
Yeah, I actually do. I've had two missing ones, I guess, for the last two, but here we go. Today's interesting fact is Al Capone is partially the reason why we have expiration dates on milk. He did it because a family member of his drank expired milk and got sick, so he lobbied the Chicago City Council to put expiration dates. And so I don't know if it was 100% him, but he at least played a role in it.
Wow, thanks Al Capone. What a good guy.
I know, right?
So wait, he just took that to the government and they just did that
Well,
for him?
he literally had so many people in his pocket in the city. He was very high up.
True.
And he just was like, yo, y'all need to start letting people know when milk goes bad. And they were like, damn, you right.
Or just
I'm surprised he didn't firebomb the fucking milk buildings or
I mean,
some
he
shit.
definitely had the capability to do so.
Oh, dude, he firebombed hella shit.
Did he? I didn't know he firebombed shit.
I don't know about fire, but any competing speakeasies, he would go bomb, and obviously a lot of innocent people died. Pretty much innocent people.
Competitors.
Yeah.
Competitors and those who picked his competitors over him were perished.
Yeah. But yeah, expiration dates on milk.
Damn, I mean, really, if you looked on the bright side, that's just free sour cream.
Yeah.
You know how expensive sour cream is? So
Is that what sour cream is made out of? Expired milk?
I mean, I don't know exactly.
This is why I don't eat sour cream.
But it's just literally, it's called sour cream because it has soured, it is something that went bad. And I'm sure it's been perfected. There's been a perfection process since the original sour cream.
They just been wilding out. They're like, hopefully nobody sues us. We're selling bad shit.
I mean, people straight up eat blue cheese on the regular.
And that shit's mold.
Yeah, that's literally mold.
God, what the fuck?
So what happens when blue cheese gets even moldier? Do you still eat it?
It's bluer cheese.
Bluer cheese.
So what you're saying is that the media has lied to us and that mold is okay to eat.
I mean,
That's what I'm
depends on
hearing.
the mold, I think.
That's what I'm hearing.
I don't think you could eat black mold. You'll just die.
Yeah,
Really?
you can't even breathe black mold.
Yeah.
That shit gets in your lungs. You are fucked.
Even a little bit?
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't...
They have to get a whole
Damn.
hazmat team and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I don't want to come into contact with any mold, but that's crazy. I didn't know it was just lethal as fuck.
Oh yeah.
I mean, a lot of, there's shit that's, way too surprisingly lethal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just, random shit.
The platypus.
The platypus. Yeah, platypuses, don't they have, fucking barbs in their legs?
Yeah, whenever they're, it's the males, actually.
Yeah.
So they use them to, fight other males, but if they're attacked by, other animals or something, they'll just, jab them really quick. They'll just jab them with the little flipper.
Yeah, so Phineas and Ferb is a fucking lie.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why Perry's so good at what he does in that show.
Yeah, but he never fucking kills Doofenshmirtz. I mean...
That's because he has a moral code. He won't take a life.
I guess.
It's
Doofenshmirtz, worth it, though.
I
don't know. They seem to have a frenemies relationship.
That's the question that everyone asks Batman. Why don't you kill the Joker? It's bro, you're not me. You don't get it.
Yeah, I mean... I don't know.
If Harry was to take one life, he would have no choice but to take all life.
You'd have to take Baljeet's. Porkinish.
Is it? Oh, Valjean. Okay, I thought I was thinking Jean Valjean from.
What?
Those
are completely separate characters.
Wow.
That's just the first thing that came to my head. I was like, is he referencing a fucking musical right now?
24601 up in here.
Yeah, no. Anyways, I wonder if Perry the Platypus has like killed anybody. Like, if you watch every episode of Phineas and Ferb, like if anyone just dies.
I think he's calculated enough. Like I said, he's much like Batman. He's so on the level to where he would take every precaution.
I mean, he's assaulted people, that's for sure. Like, he's punched Doofenshmirtz multiple times.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't think, like, if he's pushed up, like, against a wall and, like, forced to do it, I feel like he would have no issue to do so.
Do y'all remember the episode where, and I haven't watched much of the show, but this was one of the standout episodes for me, and it's the one where Perry becomes pregnant with Doofenshmirtz's baby. Have y'all
Pardon me?
No, I'm just talking about like fan art.
Oh no!
I was about to say, you found that shit on DeviantArt or something, because I am unaware.
I was like, I did not know Disney Channel really did that.
Disney Channel is being bold and just really taking these narratives in places that they haven't been before.
So he made Perry the Platypus pregnant with Doofenshmirtz's child.
They were classy. They didn't show the baby making scene. They just implicated
They
it.
only showed the birth.
Only just live birth.
Yeah, very
From
graphic
the
too.
Yeah. Some of the best
I mean, it's
animation I've
educational.
ever seen. Very
Really?
realistic
Yeah.
animation.
Just very, very classy move by Disney to do that.
Wait, don't platypuses lay eggs?
Yeah.
Okay. Then they don't give live births.
So
Oh,
Bro, that's fucking crazy to me. Birds are wild.
platypuses are mammals.
Oh shit.
yeah, they are.
Fucking egg-laying animals are crazy.
Egg-laying mammals with beaks. I don't know. Platypuses are just like weird motherfuckers.
They're beavers mixed with ducks.
They're beaver ducks with poison barbs.
And
Beavers are also inherently weird. Like, because whenever, I don't know, like Christopher Columbus and everybody came over here and shit, they saw those fuckers and they were like, what the hell is that thing? Because like imagine like you've never seen a beaver in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
come to like a whole other side of the world, basically a new world, and you see a beaver. And it's this monstrous looking like fucking like furry animal with buck teeth and a giant tail. Just slapping wood and mud. And you're
they
like,
probably
what
shot it.
Like,
Yeah, but
definitely
like,
shot at least
what it
one.
tastes
I mean,
like.
think about
Yeah,
Chris
they-
Columbus's perspective. I mean, he's just like, fuck, like these are massive ass rats. A rat just took out like a third of Europe, so like,
Dude, I would have been terrified.
yeah, like,
In
have you ever
retrospect.
seen zombievers? Those fuckers are terrifying. Like, fucking beavers, like, people make them out to be cute, but beavers are fucking
Couldn't they like
horrendous
break your
monsters.
knees with their tail or something?
I'm sure they fucking
And
could.
just like snap
They're
your
sick.
shin in half.
Like, woodland critters are not to be fucked with.
Porcupines without the like. I
Can't
think
they
they're
shoot
not-
them bitches?
Yeah, they can like flick them.
Damn.
You
Yeah.
fucking kidding me?
But like their
does it do
face
that?
is cute. Like the little underbelly of them, like the actual animal of the porcupine. Like he's
That's
a
what
cute guy.
hedgehogs are for.
Yeah.
True.
Aren't hedgehogs just less spiky?
Yeah.
They're like easier for a human to handle.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
Yeah, people
But
have
fuck all
pet
that.
hedgehogs.
I'd
and
rather.
shit.
I honestly, I would like to get an otter and just have like a big pool in my backyard with a bunch of different otter obstacles.
Otters are chill. Are there any terrifying otter facts? Or are they just chill?
Not that I have ready.
I know they hold hands to like float around so
Oh,
that they
yeah.
don't
Dude,
lose
that's
each other.
awesome.
They just sleep and they just like float down the river like holding hands.
I know they're really savage when it comes to killing oysters. Like they have no mercy.
I feel
Oh,
that.
dude, me
they
too.
they fucking hungry. Like
Yeah.
And like other like smaller like mammals or something, if they're really hungry, they'll end up killing them. Like they can actually be savage whenever it like comes down to it.
I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast in the car on the
Who's
way
that?
here. He's
I've
just
I've
like
never
this,
heard of that podcast.
He's just a small time podcaster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Do you think he wants to
underground.
collab? We could give him some exposure.
Yeah, what's up, Joe? Hop on. Anyways, but no. So he was talking about how fucking chimps in the wild will just like rip monkeys in half and eat them.
Oh yeah, dude, I love Joe Rogan talking about nature is so fucking funny.
Yeah, like
Jamie, pull that up.
Also, okay, so if I was ever approached by like, me and my friends were talking about this the other day. So like you've heard of bear attacks, right? So like a bear comes up to you, you know, like several ways. Like depending on the bear, you could you could potentially survive an attack.
It gets mixed up.
Yeah, but with like something like a gorilla.
Gorillas
If a gorilla were to charge you, I would just give up. Because I don't know, like...
I mean, I'm gonna try to kick him in the face.
No,
My
that-
main thing is just to try to kick... I guess you can't knock out a gorilla, can
Fuck
you?
no. No,
we were
that's...
talking we were talking about the whole gorillas versus bears on the last podcast.
Oh, shit.
But it's like gorilla like I said, like
They're more intelligent.
It depends on the bear.
Yeah.
I feel like they have more, like, since they're more built like us, they have more dynamic movement.
that's what we were saying. We were like,
whereas a bear is pretty much like has the same like dog, like bipedal type body. Sure, it can stand up and like kind of stretch its arms out and stuff, but like gorillas are like bodybuilders. Like,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
If a gorilla were, like, running after me, nah, it's done. I've already consigned to my fate.
yeah, that's why they had to fucking like. We're gonna really talk about Harambe 2 episodes in a row, but like that's why they had to shoot Harambe.
Yeah.
Like because he had that fucking kid. You don't know. Like the next second, he could have just slammed him around, torn him in half. I mean, you've seen fucking Avengers, like Hulk with Loki. He could have just done that shit to that kid. It's over.
He could do that to a grown man.
Yeah, he could.
Like,
Yeah,
it's no issue for a gorilla.
he could literally just do that to any. He could do that to an NFL lineman. He's just sitting there.
can't they bench press like 2,000 pounds or
Something
Yeah.
horrifying. Like,
Yeah, and like I was saying, like
Well, it
if
ain't
you
that
were to get a gorilla
It's-
in the
I'm
gym,
scared of
I
them.
mean, in a physical situation, but like humans got this shit on lock. Like
Yeah.
they ain't never going.
there's a reason we were looking at his ass in a cage. Like, but no, like if you
Brains
got a
on the
gorilla in the gym, just like straight bench pressing,
I
just like
Bro.
I really want to have one of those like spiritual, amazing experiences with an orangutan because apparently orangutans are chill as fuck. And like I've seen footage of just like people meeting with orangutans, and orangutans will give you like all of their love. Like they're
That's dope.
such pure beings.
bro, I want to talk to a fucking gorilla.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, sign language?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the one that knew
oh.
all of the shit died
That's Coco.
recently.
Coco.
Coco knew like 3,000 words in sign language.
Yeah,
she just
taught-
fucking
she met
died.
with what's his name?
Robin Williams.
Yeah, Robin Williams.
Yeah.
She met with him, and they had like a conversation. That was a really cute video I saw on YouTube.
Yeah.
When do you think we're gonna put chips in the gorilla's brains and make them super intelligent just for the fuck of it? Because we're humans and we're badass.
I mean, I saw something the other day. I'm not sure if it was real or not because I don't know anymore. But some scientists, if I'm not mistaken, believe that we're actually watching certain ape species go into the Stone Age, like evolutionarily, because they witness like chimpanzees and like certain ape species actually utilizing like, because it's not uncommon to see them utilize tools, but they like made like traps or some shit like that.
By themselves?
Like, yeah, they were like doing weird shit, and that's a sign of like cognitive development, like within a species.
Bro,
So,
we need to
why
kill
does
those
that be
fuckers
dope?
because I'm not trying to cohabitate the earth with anything. Because then they're just gonna be like, "Yo, why'd you fuck this shit up?" Like we've got some fucked up shit that we're doing right now, and it's just like I don't want an ape to just be like, so you're just
Caesar.
fucking everything up. Yeah, Caesar's just gonna come in, Planet of the Apes. I mean, we're fucked. I mean,
We've already got the infrastructure.
okay, but here's the thing. Right now, we dominate gorillas because we have the fucking guns.
Oh,
If
yeah.
a gorilla has a gun, if there is an army of gorillas with fucking
We're
guns,
done.
we are
We've
fucked.
we've
done.
also got snipers who can shoot them from like 8
I
miles
don't
away.
fucking care. We are fucked if an army of gorillas get guns. Because imagine this: soldiers are always trained in hand-to-hand combat. You get fucking 10,000 gorillas
You just
running
get
at you full
bitch
tilt.
slapped by a gorilla.
Yeah.
You're dead.
You
You're, like, not
have
even, like,
10,000
a
gorillas
punch.
running at you full tilt with AKs. You are fucked. I'm shitting my pants, praying to God, and then dying.
Hey, you know what? You know what? We could make a massive pile of bananas out in the desert and be like, "Hey, y'all, we heard there's some bananas out there, and they don't understand sarcasm. Like, sure, they know how to shoot a gun, but they don't have the social interaction skills. And they'd be like, okay, U.S. government, we believe you. Let's go get these bananas, boys. And then fucking nuke them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, right now we need to do that. Like, gorillas, they're cool. Fuck them. We kill them.
That's why we implant the chips that kind of inhibit their, like, violent side, and we just make them intelligent.
Bro, there are like 5 movies about why that's a bad idea.
Really?
Yeah.
Name them.
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes 2.
4 more. Say, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
What is it? Return to the Planet of the Apes?
Return to the Planet of the Apes.
Damn, I guess you're right.
Yeah, dude. We're like...
But fuck that. We just need to, like... I want to be able to talk to animals. Just have conversations.
I do too.
Talking with a dolphin would be dope. They're also really smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
I bet
octopus.
dolphins have their own languages. Octopuses are fucking terrifying because not only are they like crazy smart, but they're also like so physically fucking weird. Like they can fit through like a keyhole or something.
A lot of scientists are actually like confused as to like what the fuck they came from. Like because like there's, if I'm not mistaken, there's not like a solid record of like their evolutionary line. It's like it gets like muddled up. So scientists are like, why did they become this way? Like, why do they have like just
octopuses were placed in the ocean by God himself to check our hubris.
Octopi.
It's
whatever.
octopuses, actually. It's not a Greek. Oh no, fuck. I got into this conversation the other day. It's octopuses because it's not of Latin origin. Octopi would be if it was Latin origin.
Yeah.
My bad.
But you know,
Taking you back to English class.
I will
boys.
say, I'm Greek. Us Greeks fucking love octopus. Like, when my great grandfather came to America, he was just like, "Yo, where can I get some octopus?" And we were like, "What the fuck?" And he was like, "I want some fucking octopus," and we got octopus.
That's dope.
Yeah.
A pet octopus would be cool.
No, that thing would kill me. Thing would murder me in my sleep. You
Do
can't
they
contain
want
that.
to kill us?
I don't know.
Are they just violent?
But like you see, like people that try to put octopuses, whatever the fuck, they try to put them in captivity, and these fuckers just break out and just do random shit. Like, I'm not gonna keep one of those things in my house that decides to strangle me in my sleep.
Did you see that story
Or do some hentai shit?
Yeah.
of the one at the zoo, and it was secretly sneaking over to the other tank to go eat fish, and then go back because it memorized the guards' patrol.
Yeah,
time.
like that's fucking terrifying.
That's like what? It's like
if octopi, gorillas, and dolphins band together, we're fucked. And then they have birds. Birds can fucking talk.
Oh yeah.
And there have been the first question that we ever witnessed being asked by an animal, because like one of the things we've always said makes humans so special is that we're inquisitive. We ask questions, and this is even unique among species of humans, Homo sapiens. Like, we're curious. It's why all like
And
the
we
fucking
have,
Neanderthals and the fucking Denisovians. It's why they died out, was because they weren't curious. We were just like, fuck it, we're going across this ocean.
Yeah,
Neanderthals were like, what the fuck is over there? We were just like, we don't fucking know, but we're doing it.
And because we have self-awareness.
Yeah, and so we ask questions. We're curious. We thought that made us special, but then like the first question ever recorded by an animal was asked by a bird. A bird asked the question. So birds.
And what did it say?
A parrot asked what color it was.
Oh.
Yeah. And so
So
it's
shut
like,
up, you're colorblind. You can't even see, dummy.
Poor boy.
and so they get the fucking parrots going in the sky. They get the gorillas going on the land. They get the dolphins and octopi going. If they
Parrot
band
drones.
against us,
And then
We
we
are
start.
fucked.
No, we start playing some CCR, like, and then we fly in on helicopters with some fucking LMGs. And just,
fortunate son, just fucking spraying dolphins from the
Like your fortunate son coming from far.
Yeah.
They're in the trees.
If anybody ever rolls up on me playing Fortunate Son with machine guns,
yeah.
I will say,
What if the gorillas did that?
dude,
You're meta.
Then it's
I mean, it's not.
like if they play Fortunate Son at the same time with their AKs.
What we need to do is
Now
teach
we're
gorillas
done.
how to play the guitar.
yeah, bro, no,
Pretty fucking cool.
one of my
Pretty sure they
favorite
can just
memories
make a
actually
drum.
is when I was like 12 or 13 years old. We were all, me and my dad and like some of my dad's friends were going hog hunting on our deer lease. And so we all had like either like rifles or some of them had like semi-autos and stuff like that. And we're just going through on this like double-decker four-wheeler. So it's like, or it's a Polaris. And so you've got two people up front and then you've got two people up high, up top on like these elevated chairs. And we're going through and we just have like this playlist of classic rock going and Fortunate Son came on.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm just sitting there holding a gun going through this forest with Fortunate Son blasting. And I'm like, well, not blasting, but it was
Is this what it
and
feels
that
like,
was like,
grandfather?
It's like, uh-oh.
yeah, my grandfather was a draft dodger. He joined the Coast Guard. But anyways,
I mean, I feel that.
yeah, I do that too. Shit, like Papu, you were on it. R.I.P. Anyway, so
Love you, Papu.
yeah, love you, Papu. Damn, that got sad.
Oh.
Anyways,
Up theme
So-
song plays in the background.
yeah, that was like, I felt badass, but also, I feel like you had to have that shit in Vietnam, or else you'd be shitting your pants. Like,
I don't think they were listening to music. I mean, they may have been, but I don't think they were going into battle listening to that.
bro, I'd have to be listening to something like that, or else, because like that shit gets you amped, you know? Like,
Welcome to
I
the
mean, yeah.
jungle, going to war.
If I'm about
That'd
to
be awesome.
If I'm about to die, I definitely want to listen to some music just to get pumped, you know?
yeah, like,
Just like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready, I gotta go.
Is it Lord of the Rings where they're giving that speech and they're like, death! Like they're all charging and screaming that.
I think so. It was either one of the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit movies.
Yeah, like some dude gives like a rousing speech and just all the armies just start charging. They're just like, death! Yeah!
And they're just hyped for it at that point. They're not even
Yeah.
scared.
Nice.
You know, obviously I hope I never have to do that, but I hope if I have to die for a cause, that's how I go out, you know?
Or like William Wallace.
I'd have to
That
hear
was
some really badass speech.
Yeah,
before
no,
then.
just like this rousing, like, Independence Day, Helm's Deep
He said,
style.
"These fucking gorillas, they've taken over everything."
Independence Day, Helm's Deep style speech, and then just be like, fuck you, like, let's go! And then just charge into battle.
I'd be wanting to listen to some Daft Punk. That's my only request.
Just like going into some techno battle, just
No,
around
you know
the
that-
world, around the world.
No, do you know that song I played for you the other day?
Alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I would be listening to that running into battle.
You gotta listen to Kanye West, Jesus is King.
That
Into
would be.
battle.
I'm not gonna lie. That'd be interesting.
I don't think I could go into battle to that song
It
or to any song off that album. Maybe.
maybe every hour, just because I love that song.
Yeah.
That shit gets me amped.
I like,
I like On God, not gonna lie.
I like the whole
On
album.
God is
the whole
pretty good.
album's pretty. Yeah,
I
was about to say,
enjoy it.
I'd go into battle to Salah.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
I can
Yeah.
definitely see why people don't enjoy the album, but I
mean,
personally
he's always
like
been
it.
an experimental artist, is the thing.
Well,
so
I
it's
feel like I mean, I feel like the music itself is pretty like kind of it has a lot of Kanye-isms in it, and it's but like. I like the way it flows a lot. Like
Yeah.
it's a giant. The album isn't really meant to be like. It's meant to kind of loop. I feel like because like I personally and I've listened to it a bunch by this point, but like it's very and I guess we're transitioning into reviewing Kanye's album, but it's like it just I lose sense of time when listening to it. It's and I can't remember exactly when the songs start and end. That may be because it's still
They flow
early.
into one another.
Yeah, but yeah, like the Anthony Fantano review, he was like, the intro doesn't really seem long enough to be an intro, and the outro feels the same way, but it's like they're meant to flow into each other.
It kind of reminds me of, and I'm not saying it's as good as this album, but like Igor from Tyler the Creator, like those songs flow into each other really easily as well, to where I'm not even sure like, oh, is this a new song? I just think it's another song, like the same song playing over and over at that point. But like his album does that too.
Igor's definitely more fleshed out.
Oh, most definitely. Like,
But like I feel like Kanye has a he's got a very I watched the Jesus is King like movie that was in IMAX theaters. It was great. I need to find like that on DVD or some shit. But like one of the guys I was with, he was like, he was talking about, he's like, everything Kanye does seems to have a tinge of like a mistake or like it's like amateurish, even though he's been in the industry for so long, and it's like he's done so many things. It's like, but just like,
I think that's just his thing.
Yes, it's like that's kind of Kanye's thing. It's like just kind of disheveled and just like, wow, we put it together and there it is. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's why it was like he released it at like the very, very last second. He was just like, oh fuck, we're not done yet. Like most people, it's like, okay, we finish it and then we say when we're gonna release it. Kanye is just like, fuck it. You know, like
he's like, this date, and then a month later he said, okay, now it's coming out.
Did you see his drive-through karaoke? Not drive-through karaoke thing with James Gordon. It was on a
James
plane.
Gordon?
I don't know his name.
Carpool karaoke, James Corden.
Yeah. But it wasn't carpool. He was on a plane with him, and the entire plane was Baptist singers. And they were all really talented. And
dude, that's
they were all just jamming, and then they go quiet while he interviews them, and then they go into another song, and they're all just it's really cool.
His Sunday service choir is fucking amazing. And there was some the song that was getting everybody hyped for Jesus is King, I don't even think was on the album. Like the breakdown that got everyone hyped that first.
Are you talking about and he's like,
yeah, and he's on the piano or whatever. He's just like,
good.
And I was hyped to hear that on the album, and I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would have been great. Did y'all listen to the Yandhi leak at all?
No,
because there was a song called Brothers on there that I really wish was on the album. It's really, really awesome. But apparently it's for some type of BET film, so they're not trying to release it yet. Yeah, or something. I don't know. But
I think he mentions him.
But I have like a leak website where you can listen to it.
He talks about how Yandhi isn't gonna release, I think.
Yeah, no, it's canceled.
Yeah.
He said everybody wanted Yandhi, but Jesus Christ did the laundry.
Yeah.
So I mean, he just completely had like I guess just
he was like, nah.
Yeah, he just like found God and had a faith moment, I guess, and then felt like that's what he needed to do with his album.
But it's also crazy how like Kanye now appeals to like a lot of people, because it's like, you know, back in he's still got a lot of his followers from like the Chicago days, like when he was first coming up. He's still got like all of those people still love him, but then he's like crossing into like these different like. Now all the evangelicals love him. Like many like just white dudes that have never listened to rap that I know that are like in their like late 20s or 30s are like, oh yeah, Jesus
I went to my
King's
friend's
great.
youth group the other day actually, and they were playing that whole album on repeat in the gym.
Oh yeah, no,
I was like, oh,
that's like
it's just happening now.
I haven't been up to like my camp or any like youth Christian organization since the album release, but like everyone I know that's a Christian that's like really just jamming out to it and whatnot, like they love it and they're like putting it everywhere.
Every YouTube video of every song has the like most positive comment section ever. Or like I've looked through a couple of them and it's a ton of people just like celebrating the album and just talking about.
It's a really good album.
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot.
I really like the album. Just not from like
wait, no, you go.
No. So I was gonna say like not from like I appreciate the message perspective, but like from a musical perspective, I really like what he did. Like what we talked about with the flowing into each different song. I really like that from a musician, just because I want to listen to an album and not want to stop. You know, and I think that's what his album accomplished. Is that every new song I felt as though was a continuation of a story, and I wanted to finish that story. So I literally listened to the whole album in like a span of like 2 hours. I was just listening, and then I repeated it so I could analyze it again. Yeah. And I really did have a good time doing that.
Yeah. I whatchamacallit, oh my gosh, please don't tell me I just forgot what I was gonna say.
Here.
Collin, you said
Yeah,
something.
I was about to say, I'll come in real quick. But another thing is, like, I am a pretty devout Christian, and it's like, the message, like, what he's doing for, like, Christianity right now is, like, pretty amazing, because, like, you've got rappers that are like, okay, I'm gonna, like Lil Wayne is like, I'm gonna rap about drugs and pussy, and then I'm gonna thank God at my acceptance speech at the Emmys, or not Emmys, fucking Grammys, or whatever. So it's like, that doesn't put out, like, a great image, and, like, right now, like, for Christians, like, this is, like, a huge deal, because definitely. You've got Kanye West out here, like, one of the biggest artists on earth, releasing a gospel album called Jesus is King.
And it slaps.
And it's amazing, yeah.
And it's topping the charts right now.
Yeah,
like, every single song is up there.
It's just, like, for Christians, like, it is a huge deal, because, like...
Well, it's also just a breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
like,
Christians have a very, like, on and off image right now in society.
I hear, when I hear rap music, like, a lot of the time I'm just like, oh, okay, it's like the same shit. But, like, this is different, because like, not a lot of not a lot of rap artists have released something that's just like, fuck the status quo, like, hey, this is what I believe, here's like a whole album on it, you know?
Yeah,
there's a
Chance kind of did it, but with Coloring Book, but also, like, he mixed in stuff like No Problem and stuff like that, where it's just regular rap, or like Smoke Break, where he's talking about smoking weed and stuff like that. And then the other half is like gospel songs, which is awesome. But like what Kanye did is like that, but like more dedicated, like bigger.
Well, especially when everybody was like Yandi, Yandi, and then he was just like, Jesus is King.
Yeah.
Like, and just like that whole shift.
Yeah. I don't even know. Like, can you name another? I don't understand how people could hate Kanye, because it's like, can you name another artist that like gets people as riled up or as like talking, or I mean, sure, there's a couple of them out there, but it's like he's such a unique force, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
like,
he
no
doesn't
one
care.
No, I think he does care a lot.
But like, what I'm saying,
but at the same time, he doesn't.
What I mean by that is like, I'm gonna kind of skirt a line here, but like with like cancel culture and all that, like I firmly believe you can only like cancel somebody who's gonna give a shit.
Yeah. If you just keep going and releasing good products, like, people are gonna fuck with it.
Kanye is just like, okay, I hear you, but also I'm just gonna keep it, you know?
Well, also, like, that's like the whole cancel culture thing is just born out of idiocy. Like, Twitter and all of that perpetuates it, and I hate
it doesn't
so much.
encourage any actual like humanization or any discussion.
Oh yeah,
like, you're gonna once again skirting a line here, but like a lot of people are just willing to judge someone's entire life, their entire body of work, off of one mistake. And I can tell you that me personally, I've made tons of mistakes, and I'm assuming that y'all probably have.
Everyone
too.
has skeletons.
Everyone
has. That's the thing is like that's how a lot of like Hollywood and all of that is controlled. It's just like, I've done bad things, but nobody really knows, and I have a lot of people that I could, like, if they said shit about me, I could say shit about them. So we're just all going to be quiet.
I think that culture comes from, like, a perspective of people just not, like people wanting to feel better about their situations in life, so they try to, like, knock somebody down for, like, a mistake they made.
Yeah.
Just so they don't have to, like, take responsibility for their own mistakes, which inherently is just a really bad thing to do for yourself.
Yeah.
It's not owning up to, like, you know, your own faults. And, like, skirting back into the Kanye perspective, he doesn't do that. He's owned his faults. Like, the whole Taylor Swift scenario that happened, he's openly apologized to her about that, and he's like,
I made that bitch famous.
Yeah. And, like, but he jokes about it, too, and he just, like, I mean, it happened, I made a mistake.
And I mean, he felt like...
Yeah.
He also, like, felt like shit afterwards. Like, I read this whole thing about, like, how after that happened, he, like, basically moved to Japan for, like, a year and a half.
Yeah, and
that's where he wrote
cry.
That's where he wrote Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know, like, I don't know. He owns it very well.
Well, okay, so, and keep in mind that happened after he dropped 808s. Like, his most, before that, he had just dropped a trilogy of, like, super fucking fire albums, and everyone was like, hell yeah, Kanye. And then just, like, he drops 808s, and, like, completely karate chops the culture in half, like he has done with a lot of albums. Like
808s is his most divisive.
Oh, most of at the time, because that was at the end of the bling era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like that.
What year
but
exactly
think
was
about
808s released?
2000.
like 2008. It's 2008 was graduation. So it was like I think it must have been 2010 or something because Yeezus was 2013.
And
Yeezus
was 13. Dark Twisted Fantasy was 09. Graduation was 07.
I think I believe you're right.
Okay.
So
it was probably like early 2000 teens, so like 2011.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. I read this really great conversation on Twitter, and it's kind of like a podcast but through Twitter DMs, and it's just these two guys discussing the album. And I'm not gonna go into super in depth on what they said, but they do give a really cool, two really cool perspectives on the album. But one of them mentions, let's see.
By the way, 808s and Heartbreak was 2008.
Okay.
Interesting.
Damn, so he made Graduation and then he broke up with his fiance and then his mom died and he just made that album.
That's a lot during that time of his life.
I read this one thing, not the interview that I was talking about on Twitter, but it's like where it was just talking about an interview that Kanye was in like right after his mom died, and he just like had his sunglasses on, and it's like this one guy talking about like how Kanye looked and just like his energy.
I wouldn't even show up to an interview. Like honestly, like
it was some type of press thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's rough.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine like doing anything if that shit.
Oh god, no. Like my mom's one of my best friends, so like if that happened, I'd be like checked out for like a solid 2 weeks. Not even gonna lie.
Oh, I'd be checked out for longer than that probably.
Yeah.
And like that dude went to an interview after that. Like I really like Kanye.
And then made a groundbreaking album.
Yeah, I really like Kanye.
Kanye's the fucking shit. Call it?
Once again, he's done stupid shit in his life, but like,
yeah,
it's just how he owns it and moves past it.
I'd much rather I'd rather have an artist that like does that publicly and has a more interesting career than somebody who just like keeps all their faults to themselves. Which like I definitely don't blame them. Like I wouldn't take Kanye's career path. Like I don't think I would be quite as brash as him, but it's like I just appreciate him for being that way, like for being Kanye. Like he's such like I said, a unique force. But so one of the main things is that the guy in this Twitter DM conversation mentions that Jesus is King is pretty much the anti-Yeezus, which I really felt like was
that makes sense.
Very spot on, actually.
Yeah,
I mean, just from so many different perspectives, it's very spot on.
Whereas Yandi would have been more ego stroking because it fucking Yandi.
Yeah.
Like, but it's
I very much viewed it as Yeezus too.
Oh, I think that's how a lot of people, like, especially with the cover that I had posted 2 years prior on my Instagram. But with the cover, it's literally like a futuristic Yeezus. So it's like, it may have been, I don't want to say it would have had the same vibe because it wouldn't have.
I don't think Kanye would ever make 2 albums with the same vibe.
Yeah. That's true.
He likes tossing it up and just confusing people. Like, just like, not confusing, but like just like adding like a little like chaotic mixture into whatever he throws in. And I really like that.
That's why I was saying he's very much been like an experimental artist. Like, I'm just going to throw this in there.
Well, like, think about every single album he has influenced everything. Like, every single album. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and like, not to mention his clothing and stuff like that. Like, he just...
he still has his clothing line, right?
Yeah,
it's still going on.
Yeah, they just make drops every once in a while, just different shoes and clothes.
Because I remember when that started, and I was like, wow, he's really just like going everywhere now. He's just like such a I don't know. He's like a free spirit, and that's
especially now.
Like, I'm not even sure if that's like a good word for it. He's just like chaotic, like in a good way. I like it.
Yeah.
Where would you put Kanye on the chaotic, neutral, whatever scale?
I would say before I would have definitely aligned him as chaotic neutral. Maybe even... No, I wouldn't say he was ever chaotic evil.
No. He just
chaotic,
makes mistakes.
chaotic, passionate.
Yeah. But I would say he's chaotic. He's shifted more to chaotic good now.
Yeah, he's like chaotic neutral, chaotic good leaning.
Yeah, I would say in the past there have been times where he's leaned more chaotic evil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I would say he's chaotic good.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing that I heard in the conversation that I really liked is that one of them talks about how it's like the album feels like it is meant to be listened to with other people. Like it's meant to be like a church album. Like you listen to, and like to be honest, I would go to church every single Sunday if like there was that type of choir and stuff like that. Because
there was
Joel Osteen
like,
invited him to.
I think he's doing that.
Lakewood, yeah.
Yeah.
Which
that's
theologically, I have some huge differences, and I don't agree at all with Joel Osteen.
But it's more.
However,
I would show
might
up.
have to come.
I
might have to hit up Lakewood if Kanye's
yeah.
there.
Kanye also said they're going on tour like very soon, so I'm buying a ticket just because like watching the movie. I have a leak of that too. Obviously, it's not as good quality, and we're not going to be in an IMAX theater. But like, dude, oh my god! Like I forgot how much I love choir vocals. Like just the level
they're
of
so
human voices and how they perfectly I don't even know.
And it's not like they're talented, yeah, but like from a work perspective, how they train
the practice
themselves, they work hard to get that kind of voice. And I don't know, like I really respect them. I respect them.
I like how Kanye has just been like going around just like randomly doing Sunday services in places. Like,
yeah.
Like he went to a few weeks back. He went to Howard University. Just showed up on like their lawn or some shit and did a Sunday service there.
I don't even know, man. He's doing some beautiful work. Like I love it.
Yeah.
And like I don't know where this like shift came from, but that's like a Kanye thing in general. It's just like you don't know like what like clicked in his head. But like this was like one of the few times, not few times, but this is one of the times where I'm just like, this is really good for not just like publicity or that. I think this is really good for him.
Yeah.
Like just like to like better himself. However, like you want to use like religion to do that. You want to use like music to do that. He's using both. And I think it's just really, really good for him, like mentally and like. Yeah. And I think it's gonna make him feel happier.
Yeah, and I don't really think there's been an instance where somebody like truly like converts to Christianity that's made them like a worse person.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a very big Christian. There are some people who have quarrels with Christianity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then
but even
there are bad Christians, but
I mean,
like,
there's Westboro Baptist Church.
But there's bad people in general.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think there's really been any instances where somebody has like truly like converted, like in their heart, like accepted Jesus and all that stuff.
Who's a bad person?
And come out. Well, there have been bad people, but like that have come out a worse person than before.
Yeah,
I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like even if you disagree theologically, my thing is it's like if you're not Christian, you know, whatever, but it's like why would you have a problem with someone that's like being happy and like you know knowing that they have a place to go whenever they die, and it's like just fucking let them live their life.
I think the biggest part is just a lot of people, and I can't speak from an atheist perspective, but I can also like speak from, I know plenty of atheists. Like a lot of people just feel very alienated early on, and it just makes them angry.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the biggest thing about like those atheist, like the neckbeard atheist, you know, that like really just, it's what at their core they feel like they've been lied to their whole life in some way, and they feel very angry. And they take that out on people that are just like trying to like live their lives, and they're like come up with like the whole like religion, violence thing, which in the past, yes, there have been many religious wars. Many were pointless, and tons of innocent people died. That is a fact.
Well,
but like
that came a lot from like when people were like fucking it up, and that's like mostly like what a lot of like what messes up religion is not like inherently the religion itself. It's just that people inherently can be shit, like just like in general.
Yeah.
So like the whole like taxing you to get into heaven from the Catholic Church back then, and like just like like that happened. That really happened. Like it's like it's crazy to think about, but like they really did that, and like I don't know. It's just people mess up what make other people happy.
Yeah, and other Tony is a very devout Catholic.
Yeah, no, we went to the same Catholic church.
And so, like, talking to him about a lot of that stuff, he's like, yeah, that stuff happened. It's terrible. You've got, like, pedophiles in the church. It's terrible. Like, he says, he gets real angry about it. Like, I talked to him about it, and he's like, those people should burn in the depths of hell. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. No, I was an altar boy for the longest time, and, like, I've met my fair share of like really bad people in the church. Like, not gonna lie, like there's really sweet people in the church, but like there's some people who like use it as like a tool for access to power. Yeah. So like I met this really bitch nun one time, just like straight cunt, and I knew she wasn't Christian just because all the time she was just constantly negative. And if you really were Christian, you wouldn't be that way. Like, I feel like you'd at least be, like, happy to, like, go talk about God or something. No, she was always mad.
Yeah, you're at least working on it.
Like, yeah. No, she was just always negative. And same thing with another priest I met. He was always just so anal about everything. He was, like, you get what I mean. But,
yeah.
Like, I feel as though if you were to really, like, accept, like, just the core value of just, like, hey, just be happy, love one another, that's it. Just, like, chill, live your life, be happy, do your best, be a good person. Like, that's really, like, all you have to do in this life. Like, that's really anybody should do is just try to be the best person they could be. And I feel as though a lot of people use a church for an outlet to get a sense of power to feel better about themselves. And it's not only like church. People do that in the government. People do that
the police.
At school. People do that at
There's a whole lot of police officers out there that join the police force because
they just want power.
Yeah, they didn't have any type of popularity or they weren't cool.
I read an article and it said, and obviously, I guess, disclaimer, there are amazing people that are in these professions that are like A1 people, but like I read an article about like how high school, like school bullies, the boys are most likely to become police officers, the girls are most likely to become nurses, and that's why you get like these nurse abuse cases, is because like these people want power. Like my grandmother has been in the hospital for 2 months now, and it's like, we haven't dealt with like any of like the insane shit that you hear about with like nurses who just abuse their patients, but like there have been times where like she's called for medicine and just no one's come for like 3 hours.
I've seen horror stories about like like straight up like nurse ratchet kind of people. Like I saw this video of this one lady throw this really old frail lady onto her bed, and
people on Twitter like they were like laughing at her and stuff like that. It's like there's a I feel like Twitter has gotten to the point to where it's like, especially as a white person, like it's like I don't care about white jokes. Like I make fun of white people all the fucking time. And to be fair, like my least favorite people on this planet are like super redneck, like hick white
trash.
Yeah, white trash. Like that's disgusting to me. But it's like it gets to the point to where like people were just like laughing at this old woman, just like fuck that white bitch. It's like do y'all have any type of compassion? Like this lady didn't do anything.
Somebody's mother. She's somebody's grandmother.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
And so like my mom she hasn't like become an activist or anything like that, but like she's really riled up about that kind of shit. Like so my grandma, she's she has a video camera. My mom put a video camera in her room, so none of that shit would happen.
Mm-hmm.
And like my mom's like always taking care of her. Like if she doesn't get her medicine on time, my mom will drive over to the hospital and yell at a nurse.
Good.
Like,
Yeah.
But here's the thing: we know for a fact that if my mom wasn't like so like that, like so protective of my grandmother would be dead. My grandmother had a heart attack in the hospital, and no one would come when she was trying to get help until my mom like went out and got somebody and forcibly made them come in to help her.
The fuck?
And like she probably would have died if my mom wasn't there. And it's just fucked up, like the level of neglect that happens in hospitals and shit like that, especially to the elderly.
Do y'all think that's like, because in my mind, I've always been wondering, not always, but just like sometimes I wonder, it's like, where have all the serial killers went? Like in the 70s and shit like that, there was like, I felt like it was way more common. It's like, I feel like they're just in more professional positions now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I mean, I can guarantee you even before then, like, there have always been sociopaths and psychopaths that have just like climbed their way up the corporate ladder, and they just like...
I saw this crazy story of like, this dude over at the UK, he was driving I saw it on Twitter actually. He was driving this truck and got pulled over, and there were 39 dead bodies in the truck.
Yeah.
You saw that?
Your car smells like shit, dog.
He was arrested and he's charged with all cases. Like, that dude is like, I don't know what happened in his life, but
But
geez.
it's the UK, so they'll let him out in like 3 years. They're
I
just
just
good
found out-
behavior.
Or I guess all of America just found out about this guy, this serial killer who was caught. It's this guy, he's like in his 80s or 90s now. Had like over 100 dead bodies in his yard.
Christ.
Like just buried in his yard.
So they're just better at what they do nowadays.
Yeah. And he turned himself in, was the thing.
Oh my! You're already
He gave himself up, and he was like,
Yeah.
y'all are boring. Y'all didn't catch me this whole time.
Yeah. But also, so my belief about like the whole serial killer thing is like, that's a lot of serial killers, yes, they do it because like they have this fucked up urge to murder, but also I feel like a lot of the serial killer mindset has shifted, and I may have talked about this on the podcast
From Reddit.
from it's shifted into the whole school shooter thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like people who are like, I want to gain notoriety from killing people. Nowadays, killing spree. I don't want to say it like this, but killing sprees are what's in.
Yeah.
You know, like that sounds horrible.
I mean, it's like getting like a
All right, guys. Spring 2020. What's in? We've got fashionable high tops. We've got rugs, and we've got shooting sprees.
Don't wear white tomorrow, kids.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, ever since I'll say Columbine was the first one, but like really, it's been since Sandy Hook and Aurora have been when it's like taken a sharp spike up.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think people are just that's the way they want to do it now because I'm not gonna fucking name them or give those pieces of shit any sort of notoriety. But like, we all know their names.
Yeah. Or I mean,
dude,
I know. I don't even know.
Like,
Not off the top of my head.
One of my cousins was actually at Santa Fe High School when that happened over there.
Yeah.
Like, I knew a lot of kids there when that was happening. I was like doing lessons at the time whenever it was happening, and my one of my kids was like, I gotta go, and I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, Santa Fe is like in trouble. I'm like, what you mean? And then I looked on the news and I was just like, oh shit. Damn.
Yeah, like I went to church growing up with the kid that did the shooting.
Damn.
Like we went to the same Greek Orthodox church growing up. My family knows his family.
Oof.
So it's like
It's crazy.
It's
to see,
fucked.
Like growing up around those kind of people, and then they just snap.
Yeah.
Like it's like I don't know. It's just like it's like something out of like a movie almost.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, full disclosure for me, I didn't really know the kid. I didn't even remember his name. or anything like that, but I saw that he was Greek, and I was like, okay, all Greek people know each other. This is like a commandment. So I texted my yaya. I was like, hey, yo, do we know this guy? And she was like, yeah, I know his family pretty well. You used to go to church with him. You were in like the same little Sunday classes. And I was like,
ooh,
fuck that, man. Like,
and that's why we all listen to Jesus is King and just like, be happy.
Yeah, because life can get depressing real fast.
I feel like people who, and I'm not, because I don't know this kind of mindset. I don't know. I mean, I've seen Joker, but like I don't know what it would take to make me break like that. But like, I feel like a lot of them have just like not had like enough happiness in their life.
It is,
if that makes sense.
It is weird to think about like the idea of not having any empathy whatsoever for another person. Like, there's a lot of times in my life where it's like, even small shit, it's like, I don't want to do things because it would inconvenience or harm someone, so you don't do it. But it's like, imagine not having
just
that.
Not even
that like doesn't come to your
I don't know.
head. Like, that's fucking...
It's complicated.
It's very complicated.
And it's not their
Human
fault.
beings are incredibly complicated.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty crazy.
But like, just like getting back, like, I feel like every other week I see another like, shooting in Canada, like 10 people dead, or like shooting in Texas, like 5
There
people
have been
dead.
like 4 of them in Texas.
Yeah.
Now.
And I see it like on Twitter, and I glance at it, and I'm like, this is so fucked up, because I remember I used to see it and I used to be like outraged, but now I see it and I'm like, aw.
Yeah, it's
funny cat video.
It's fucking horrible, but we've gotten used to it.
Yeah.
We're, especially us, like we said, or we were talking about this before the podcast, but like how we were raised on the internet, and it's like we're just kind of desensitized to shit now.
Yeah, like we've gotten used to it. And the one that like really, I mean, when it happened in Santa Fe, that's like 2 miles or whatever from here.
Yeah.
It's close as hell.
That one felt different though.
That one felt different because I knew people that went to Santa Fe.
Yeah,
like,
that one hit different.
And like I said, I knew the kid that did it. That one felt very different, but still just like in general, since then, none of them have really, like I see it and I'm like,
I mean, Sandy Hook affected me a lot.
Yeah,
like
I remember
the Batman one was the one that really fucked with me.
The Batman one was pretty bad because I was so disappointed, like seeing that movie that night and getting home and hearing about that.
Yeah.
But whatchamacallit, Sandy Hook was really fucked up to me because it was kids in particular.
Yeah.
And the fact that like the first thing I saw was a meme. And it was like someone had photoshopped Obi-Wan's face. You remember that picture of the girl like crying?
Oh,
yes. It's like, dude, like.
The what?
Do you remember the picture of the girl like crying on the phone?
Oh.
And they photoshopped Obi-Wan's face and said like they even took the young. It's like, bro, like I understand this is the internet and y'all are trying to be edgy and shit. But like for some reason,
just happened.
Yeah, that did not gel with me at all. No. And like I've laughed at plenty of horrible shit, but it's like that in particular. I was like,
well, they're children.
Oh my
they were
God.
Literally like 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah, like. It wasn't
this
even one of those instances.
Podcast.
Yeah, shit.
But this is the Yin and Yang podcast. We were talking about like positivity and Jesus and Kanye, and now school shooting.
I'll finish the thought I was on, and then let's try and change to something else better. But like, no, what I was gonna say is that it wasn't even one of those instances of like, you know, like a revenge shooting, like a lot of them are, like the Santa Fe, like the Columbine or anything, like where you had people shooting up their classmates or whatever because they were pissed at their classmates. This was literally just like a 25-year-old man went into an elementary school and just murdered kids because he was some fucked up psychopath. Like,
and killed his own mom too.
Yeah,
I don't know, just adding that cherry on top.
Not that like. Again, not that any of the other shootings were somehow more acceptable or better, but like that one is just.
I think it's always worse when it's kids.
And
like,
the fact that there are people that like deny that it happens,
that makes me mad.
Like even like Alex Jones denied that it happened for a little bit now, and he denied that it happened for a little bit, and then he went on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he like fucking Alex Jones was like apologizing and shit like that.
Good.
Like.
I don't know. I just
that
feel like
irks
people
me.
who make conspiracies out of really serious shit, people piss me off. That's the easiest way to piss me off.
I mean, I feel like it's not just people making things up, because like we were talking about this before the podcast, but it's like I've heard a lot of different shit, and it's like I don't know what to believe, so I just kind of am focused on improving myself in my life. You know,
But
what I mean?
like-
there's a
but like-
lot of other people that spend their entire, like literally people that are dedicated to just deciphering all this shit, and it's like I don't know.
It's when
will
people
lead you
try
down a
and
lot
make
of-
some where there is nothing there.
I feel like with like established facts, that's whenever it pisses me off. Like when people are like, "Earth is flat." Like as a meme, that's really funny. But people who like legitimately think the Earth is flat really do piss me off. Same thing with the whole moon landing. Holocaust deniers really piss me off. It's just it hits a button on me, and I don't know what it is, but it pisses me off when people just deny a blatant truth.
Yeah.
Well, to me, a blatant truth.
Yeah. I feel you. I think that's just human nature. It's like,
Yeah.
why can you not listen to reason?
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And
But,
I feel like a lot of times those people eventually like admit that they were wrong. Like,
Yeah.
again, I think for like the 50th time this podcast, I'm gonna bring up Joe Rogan, but like he used to be a huge moon landing denier, and like he's even gone back and just been like, yeah, I was fucking wrong. I was
Yeah.
just stupid. He's like, I just wanted to pretend like I had the facts and like I knew something for sure, when like in reality I had no fucking clue about it.
Yeah. I have to remind myself that a lot. That's why, like, I have a lot of shit, like, especially on my Twitter and stuff like that. It's like I have a lot of shit that I can say, but like immediately I'm just kind of like, well, and then I like find refutes to like what I would have said. So it's like, I'm just not going to tweet anything. And if I do, I'm just going to tweet some random bullshit. But yeah.
Yeah, so
Just like, I feel as like I love myself a conspiracy. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can be really fun, but like I don't like embellishing or like trying to like overstretch. Like oh, he said this one thing. This could have been a secret Illuminati conspiracy. Like it's just like I don't know. It's like that kind of like bugs me.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be some meat on the bones.
Yeah.
For me to.
It's just like if you're trying to stretch it, it's like
Yeah.
But like what's it called? Like a lot of the Area 51 shit I find really entertaining, because there is some like shady shit with that.
Yeah.
And I find that like genuinely entertaining, because the government is obviously like really shady about it, and I love that because it just it's so entertaining for me, because it's like
They're just like,
you're trying to be so secret.
I honestly wish the whole Area 51 meme would have happened a lot like later. That way, like we might have actually. Here's the thing. Like 3 million people signed up. Everyone knew that wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I bet if that whole thing would have went down
Secretly,
as the whole like, if that whole meme would have been popular as the planned raid was, I bet a lot of people would have shown up. As is, I think it was like 200 people showed up.
Yeah.
I bet if it happened like in like the peak of that meme, you would have had thousands of people show up.
yeah.
And so, and this is where I get wishy-washy about it. It's like, I wish people actually would have had the balls to go in. I don't think anybody would have.
Yeah.
Maybe a few would. Maybe a few.
Are you
would
willing
truly,
to die for a meme?
Yeah.
Like
Maybe a few people with truly nothing to lose would have gone for it. But it's like,
they're just so obsessed with meme culture.
I truly wish people would have like.
I wish people
gone
died.
Well,
I mean, people got arrested, but that's
a
as
few
much
people
that
got-
happened.
Yeah, there were like 2 arrests, but it's like I just wish we knew what was going on. Is what I'm trying to get at, you know. And I don't think Area 51 has aliens or any shit like that. But I mean, we do know that the government has just straight up lied about its purposes before. So it's like, I'm curious, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when that whole whistleblowing operation happened. Whenever
Snowden.
whenever he revealed that they were just watching us through our phones that whole time, and they still do.
Yeah.
And like everybody just like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that happened. No, that happened. I was just like, I've been knew that. Like,
Yeah, it's just like, but like he like confirmed it. He's like, it's happening, and everybody's just like,
Yeah.
Of course. Like,
yeah, that's the only thing. The only thing that I think would actually really, really snap people out of it is if everything was completely secret,
deconstructed,
declassified. If that, but then again, I don't even know what the fuck would happen to our society if we knew everything that the government knew and like they just told us everything. It's like I don't know what
it would
happen.
just
it would be cultural shifts.
For like the 8th time, I'm gonna say it. That Jimmy Carter shit is terrifying. Where he went on and he said, "Yo, if I get elected, I'm gonna like declassify all that we know about aliens." And then he got out there, he got elected, he went up and he went, "Actually, yeah, I'm not gonna do that because national security reasons." That shit is terrifying. I mean,
the fact that that happened,
like,
and he would just like, whoop.
I brought it up so many times. That shit is terrifying. Like, I think I just want to live out my happy life, just like.
I mean, I saw some.
I think
crazy
shit is gonna get crazier before. I think, I don't know. I think everyone knows it too. Like, I think that's why Jesus is King is coming out. It's like that album is meant for us to listen to and have some comfort in whatever the fuck's about to go down.
Sure. I don't know if I'd go that far with it.
I don't know. That's just how I feel. Like, obviously, I have no.
Jesus is King makes me happy.
Well, like, I don't have any type of facts that I could tell you, but
I don't think we're gonna. I think human beings are more prone to believe that crazy shit is gonna go down in our lifetime, just because it's our lifetime and like.
Well,
it's our only sample size that we get of the flow of the universe.
Well, it's like it's the unknown.
Yeah.
So it's like the example I like to think of is like you look down a dark hallway and you're only scared because you don't know what's there.
Yeah.
And your brain goes through every possibility in a moment. You know what I mean? It's just like, what the fuck could be there? And so that's what you're anticipating, something crazy.
Okay, so I posted on Twitter the other day that I saw a UFO. And
yeah, I saw that.
Okay, so I'm a really just like
I'm a chill guy.
No. Okay, so just backtracking, me as a person, if you're listening to this podcast, you most likely know me because I mean, we all went to the same high school. Let's be real.
We got some like South Korean.
We were in 25 countries.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So.
But I am a very logical and just like reality based person. So like everything I see, I'm like I can deduce what it is basically, and just be like, oh, this is most likely what it is. It was 3 a.m. And I was coming back from a really really late night at Domino's.
Shout out
to Domino's, gang. But I was on my way back. Me and my friend Nick were on our way back home, and we were turning onto the road heading into Sedona actually. And it was clear. It was really, really clear. It was last week actually that this happened, and the wind speeds were really high because this is when the cold front came in. Mm-hmm. The wind speeds were really high. So there was one thing I noted after seeing this thing. I saw this thing manifest. It was just this green orb just appeared and then fall in a straight line really fast past the trees. And I looked at my friend Nick, and he was like. And he like stopped the car.
So you both saw.
Yeah, and I was like, "Did you just see that?" And he was like, "Yeah."
How far away from it would you say it was?
Like 2 football fields, I'd say. Like it wasn't that far. Like but I saw this thing just pop out of nothing. I saw this thing pop out of nothing,
and it was just a glowing orb.
And it was just this green, bright neon light, and it was like, and it just went down.
And so, if it's that far away from you, and it just like truly like at the speed of which something would fall went away.
Oh, it wasn't fall. Okay, so this is weird. This is what's weird about it. So we went back home. We got out of the car, and I was like, that couldn't have been a drone, because it appeared out of nowhere. First of all, and it fell really fast in a straight line. There was wind speeds of like, the wind speeds were crazy.
So it traveled to the horizon.
It traveled down.
Just straight down.
Straight down and like past the trees to where we couldn't see it anymore. It was in the sky and then it went down and then past the trees. Like into like the forest or some shit like that. But like it dropped in a straight line. if it was like an aircraft or a flare or something like that, there would have been give because of the wind. There would have been exhaust. There was no exhaust. It was just there and then fell.
So
and I don't know.
you don't think? I don't know. Honestly, what comes to my mind is just like a drone was really high and the clouds parted perfectly for it to appear, and then it ran out.
No, that's the thing. That's the thing. It was clear in that part of the sky. I saw it manifest. That's what was fucked up. That's what fucked me up. And so did Nick, my friend Nick. He was looking there because we were driving on the road and there was nothing else to do. We were just chilling, listening to music. And I was like, oh, look, pretty star. And then I was like,
just that quick?
Yeah. And I was just like,
yeah, there's a lot of things that could have been like, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, we do live right next to Ellington Airfield.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They could be testing out some sketchy alien.
That's what I think. I'm not saying that it's like an alien thing or like a dimension. Like, I think it could have been a weird aircraft, but like regardless, I saw some weird shit, and it was not a plane. It was not a flare. It was not a drone. It was not some kind of animal or like a weather balloon.
You can't
or a satellite.
You can't even say what it was.
No, because there was no exhaust. There was no give in the wind. That it just manifested out of nowhere. I don't know. It was just some crazy shit I saw.
There was one time as a kid, and I remember this
you told
still.
Me about this,
I remember walking outside of my house, and above my neighbor's house, I swear to God, there was an alien fucking ship. Like, I remember seeing this shit. Like, it looked like it was kind of like a rounded triangle, and it had lights on the bottom.
What the
And
hell?
I remember walking back inside, and like, I wasn't even freaking out or anything. I was just like, what? And then I don't remember how long I looked at it or anything. And I may just, being this, it happened so long ago that it's like, was I just tripping? Like, was I just a kid? But it's like, I distinctly remember seeing this. And I just went inside and like told my mom, and she was like, what? And she walked outside and it wasn't there. And then I went inside and like kind of drew a picture of it, and like, that's all that happened. But it's just like, every once in a while, it's like,
I mean, the government has declassified that there are UFOs are a thing. They're not saying that it's like aliens or anything, but they do say that there are objects that fly in the air that they don't know what they are.
And it's called an unidentified flying object.
Yeah, you remember that whole thing that it was like on CNN and like Fox News, that video where they're like tracking that like flying like
the Phoenix Lights.
No, not the Phoenix Lights. It was, I'm gonna pull it up. It was this whole like ordeal where they found the government declassified this video of them tracking an object just flying through the air, and they were just like freaking out. They were like, "Oh, we got it!"
And the closer that they zoomed up, or like,
this one. The U.S. Navy confirms UFO videos are the real deal. CNN.
I have whatchamacallit. Or no, so you know how like on football fields they have those like microphones that you can like hear people from far away, if that makes any sense?
I know what you mean.
I didn't explain it very well, but
speakers?
I mean, like, you know where it's like you aim the thing at them and like even though they're far away...
A megaphone?
No, like it's kind of like a gun and you like aim it at someone. It's like how they hear football players or some shit. I don't know.
Headsets?
I'm just making a joke. This was all meant to just be a joke. And like they zoom in on the alien or this UFO, and then you just hear "Fortunate Son" playing as they're speeding through the sky.
Oh,
so that was the joke I attempted to make.
I will say, so I don't really have any alien experiences personally. I have one where like I was there, but I didn't see it. I was driving with, so only like local people I guess will know where this is, but like Acro Sports right next to Challenger Columbia Stadium.
Oh yeah.
We were driving right there because my sister used to do gymnastics at Acro Sports. And we were going to drop her off. And my dad, my sister, and my little brother all saw it. I didn't, because I mean I was fucking probably just thinking about titties or something.
Titty, whole ass shit. Ooh, titty.
But anyway, so like, My dad, my sister, and my little brother all say that they saw like this weird, like silver, like skinny silver thing flying through the sky at just like impossible speeds. Like it was like a silver snake.
Was this
almost.
at night?
It was in the middle of the day.
Okay.
And it was like super agile and like flowing through the sky.
Fucked up.
And then it just like shot away.
If I saw that shit, I'd cry.
Yeah. And so they
fucked
all
up.
say that they saw that. I did not.
That's like
see
seeing
that.
like a dragon or some shit. Like just like.
Yeah. And so that's like the only time I've been there for it. Like I said, I have no clue.
I never thought I would see anything.
I remember that. I was there. I remember that. Your dad was like, "Oh, what the fuck is that?" He said, "Bloody hell! There was a silver snake in the sky."
I usually use a redneck voice to describe my dad, but sure.
I just wanted to say that.
My dad is not a redneck, but like I think he wishes he was a redneck. He's actually
Same thing
like
for
an
my dad.
upper class businessman, but like
He has roots.
He has
redneck roots.
oh yeah, no, my family is from like in the different ways the three most southern states there are: South Carolina, which is like classic, like high class southern; Alabama, which is like cousin fucker southern;
Yeah.
and Texas, which is Texas. That's where my family, within America at least, I mean, we have origins in like Greece,
Yeah.
but like that's where we're from. And so like, that's, my dad kind of like wishes, he's got those roots, so like, he will, like, he, in his heart of hearts, just wants to go to like a NASCAR race and get fucking wasted in the infield.
Just do that for him one day.
But no, here's the thing. He's done that occasionally. Like, my dad got interviewed by, like, the NASCAR lady on, like, live national TV wearing a Confederate flag shirt at the infield of Texas Motor Speedway. And he was...
magical.
I was like... He was telling me about it. I was like, wow, Dad,
Wow.
You really lived your dream there. Like,
That's really good.
yeah, I think my dad just wants to be Willie Robertson from Duck Dynasty is really what it is.
I mean, don't we all?
Yeah, I
A little
mean,
bit.
Just slightly. I mean, I'd love a day as him and just see how that goes.
yeah,
Just
like,
like, we're gonna go duck hunting. Like, I don't know.
I
It's
feel
like,
like their lives are hella boring.
because he just, like, he wants to be a redneck, but he wants that money also. So I think he's got to get that money. Like,
I mean, you could have both. Like, I know
Oh, yeah.
plenty of people who are well off, but they still like go munting and shit.
so I think like what he wants to like retire on like a massive ranch and just do redneck shit. I think is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like just go hunting, clear out brush, kill hogs,
Yeah.
drive a truck up a mountain. You know.
I mean, it sounds like a time. That's for sure.
I mean, oh yeah, I love doing redneck
Yeah.
shit. Like,
I mean, I go camping with my dad every now and then, and all we do is shoot guns and get drunk together, and then
yeah.
go hunting.
Yeah.
And that's really fun.
See, here's my thing. I enjoy guns, and I enjoy, like, last time I went to a gun range, I had a lot of fun just, like, shooting at the target and stuff, and it's like, I remember as a kid going snake hunting with a pellet gun, and I had so much fun, but, like, I also don't want to kill animals nowadays, so it's like,
I mean, I
would feel really bad for killing an animal now.
I'm gonna say this one fucking time. Fuck animals.
They're gay.
Yeah. I will fucking.
Have you listened to the part of one of the episodes of our podcast where I talked about going to like a vegan like?
I heard that. I think I heard a clip.
Yeah,
of
we
that.
posted it on Twitter.
Yeah,
That's
I heard
one of my
a clip that.
favorite things
That was
I've
really
ever
funny.
seen.
Animals are gay and deserve to die. No, but like, here's the thing: hunting is actually like the most humane way to like acquire animals.
Yeah, it's
Like,
really quick.
It's
All right, you convinced
typically-
me. Let's go hunting.
Dude, let's do it. Fuck it. But
Let's
like,
go fishing too.
it's typically
Fishing
like
is
the
fun.
quickest death that like the animals can have because you're shooting them straight through the
Yeah,
heart.
their
And you can
options
handle
are
the population.
get bred in like an industrial factory.
Yeah.
like covered
Like
in other
they get to live
other
a
animal
life.
shit.
Like
yeah,
as a hunter, you're not allowed to shoot the younger
Mm-mm.
deer.
They're
Like, you let
supposed to
them
live
live
out.
your life, live their life, but you don't let them get too old because then they taste like shit.
yeah.
But also, it's for population control too because like if you didn't do it, they get too numerous. It's the same thing.
And
like,
then the
the
deer would
hogs.
take over America.
people Oh yeah, especially
Forget
hogs.
gorillas.
Hogs will go fucking wild.
I have this fucking horrifying story about hogs at my
Go.
fucking dad's ranch. So I was 8 years old and I was on the floor blind, right? So I don't know if you've sat on the floor blind before, but they're
Yeah.
like it's like semi-protected, but not all the way. Like it's like camouflaged really well. So I was just chilling there. I was with my dad.
It depends on the type of floor.
Yeah,
but yeah.
it was really ghetto. I'm not gonna lie. We were chilling there, and it was like, I'd say like 4:30 a.m. And this is whenever they all start waking up and like traveling and shit. And I was just chilling, waiting for something to happen, and then I hear brush rustling behind me, and I'm like, "What's that?" And then my dad's just like, "Quiet," like just like whispers really low. He just like, "Be quiet." He goes, "There's a pig, boy." No, we hear it go out into like there's like so here's a road and here's like, I know they can't see it, but there's to my left a road, like a dirt road, and to the right is where I'm sitting with my father on the floor blind. And then there's brush blocking my view. I hear something walk out to the road, and then I hear just like this massive scream. It's not even like a squealer, it screamed. And then I hear a fuck ton of other hogs come out because he was the lookout. He was seeing if it was clear to go, and this whole like herd of hogs walked by, and my dad was just like sitting there, just like, and I'm like 8 years old with a rifle, and it's like only like one bullet in there. I'm just like, if they heard or smelled us, we were dead, like for sure. And then they just like walked off and like did their own thing, but like they're scary as fuck. If you get close to, like, they will destroy you. So, and they're smart as hell too.
At my camp that I lived at, there's a pack of hogs that just like regularly fucks around there. There's a mountain lion too. And I have a story I could tell about the mountain lion, but like we'd regularly like just see like a pack of hogs just like go through the camp and just be like, okay, awesome. But like these weren't big. Like the mama hog, it was usually like a mama and a bunch of babies. And so like the mama was pretty big, like probably like 100, 150 pounds. And all the babies were just tiny, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like, if I had a gun and they came up on me, I could just shoot the mom and just kick the babies. Like, it wouldn't be that hard. But like...
no.
But like...
That's one messed up Disney movie.
It's like that thing, it's like, do you think you could take on one horse-sized duck or 50 duck-sized horses? It's like, I could fuck up those 50 duck-sized horses. Like, they wouldn't have shit on me. I just can't.
I mean, if they're trying to attack you, those hooves have to hurt a little bit.
If it's a duck-sized horse-sized duck, fucking terrifying.
Oh, I'd die because it'd go.
I'd kill myself. Like, I wouldn't let it get the chance.
Bro, yeah, I feel like could be bitches. Yeah, that would be,
But I don't think I could take on 50 ducks, but I could take on 50 duck-sized horses.
I don't know. I don't know.
Because, like, ducks know how to use their, like, tininess. A horse is gonna try and, like, fucking just overpower kick you. If they're tiny, like, okay, maybe you might get a few bruises. I just punt those motherfuckers. They're
Have
dead.
you seen John Wick 3?
No, I
Where
haven't.
he uses a horse as a weapon at one point in a scene. It's really
Dude, I'm sure he does.
No, he like faces the horse towards one of the dudes. He just slaps it and it kicks him right in the jaw, and his whole face just concaves in. Like they're scary too.
Dude, I worked in a barn for a few months. That shit, no, fuck that. Like, I hated it. I didn't have an option. It was work study for my camp. Because I did my little discipleship program, and they were like, yeah, if you work, it'll pay off part of your tuition. So I was like, all right, dope. And they were like, do you have any preferences? I didn't know barn was an option, or I would have said yes. But I was like, no, man, just put me wherever you need me, maintenance, working in the office, whatever. Put me in the fucking barn. And they're like teaching me how to like, okay, so cleaning out like horses, you have to like clean out horseshoes and shit like that. And they're just like, yeah, what you do is you just step behind the horse, you pick up their leg, and you take a fucking like screwdriver and just dig dirt out of that. And I was like, hi, yeah, no, fuck that. Like,
no. Did you end up doing it?
Yeah, I had to do that like
I'm
the
so
multiple
sorry.
horses like probably like 20 horses a week or something like that.
Imagine if Collin got Stephen Hawking syndrome from fucking horses.
No, like that shit was terrifying. Like those are fucking. Here's the thing.
They're very strong.
If I was prepared, I have no doubt that I could take out a horse in a one-on-one fight. But like, yeah, I could. I have no fucking doubt.
I'm just intimidated by horses.
Just
like
keep it in front of them.
Big. Dude, they're so big, and I'm just like, they're like, the way they look at you, like they, like last time I was around a horse, I'd like,
dude, just take out one of their legs from their
flex.
Well, I don't even know.
Just kick one of them right in the fucking kneecap. They're fucked.
I guess I haven't been around enough animals because, like, it's not like a dog. Like, it's like they're so much bigger than you, and you're just like, you're just looking at them, and they're looking at you, and it's like.
Horses, you just basically trust them not to kill you. I've been thrown off a horse before.
I would.
That shit's fucking awful.
I would love to like become best friends with a horse and then have it like that would be that'd be dope. But I have no need for that.
I need to assert physical dominance over any animal that I'm going to befriend. So that's why
they're like, here, Collin, here's a baby panda, and he just starts choking it out. He's like, listen, motherfucker, I'm the boss.
Like
I'm the boss.
Like a chinchilla, and you're just like, careful, Collin, you can't put it in water. It's bad.
waterboarded.
So have you had enough? Who's your
But no, like, I'm not gonna live with something that could fucking kill me. Like, like if I were to get a pit bull, that pit bull's gonna know that like. It is mine. Like, that pit bull, like, it's gonna know who's boss. Like, I'm the fucking pack leader.
I've gotten used to animals at this point. Like, I don't know, like,
or
really,
my best friends. You've been around gorillas? You think you could just chill with
No, fuck that. No. I mean, I sleep next to a ball python every night.
Next to one?
Yeah.
Like in the bed with him?
Like
no. Like it's in its fucking.
No,
I do cuddle with her though. She's really fucking sweet. No, because my best friend Nick, he has like 7 pets, and like they have two ball pythons, and one of them is in his room, and my bed is right next to it, and every night I sleep there, she just like comes up to the glass, looks down at me, and she's like, "Let me," and I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna do it."
Yeah,
I'm a chill big ass snake.
Yeah, I remember in like elementary school, like there'd always be like this snake lady that would come in like once every few years.
Snakes are good.
She'd be like,
I'm the snake lady.
You can touch this snake. Apparently, snakes have like all sorts of like diseases and shit on them. So like you're supposed to like wash yourself off after you touch a snake.
What the fuck?
But no, so when I first moved back to America, I went to a private school. In our private school, we had a snake. I forgot what kind of snake it was, but it was like 3-4 feet long. Pretty big snake. Mm-hmm. One day we just walk into the classroom and the snake's not in the fucking cage. And we were just like, fuck this. Like, I am not about to like have a calm ass day of learning knowing that there's a 4-foot snake that I have watched like devour, like we'd put like mice and shit in its cage, and it's like I've watched that thing like devour mice whole. Like I ain't.
Damn, how many kids were just completely traumatized? Like I feel like a lot of kids couldn't handle that.
Yeah, no. Like at Rainforest Pets, it's a pet store right down the street from me. They just sell like these big ass mice. Like they have different sizes of mice, and the only reason they're there is to feed to your fucking snakes, and they're alive. And the biggest ones are like guinea pig sized.
You could feed rabbits too if you have a big enough.
Can't they eat like kangaroos? Like,
yeah, no. Have you like?
I've seen the one where they just
the big ass
just
ones,
completely ate a kangaroo,
or like a deer, or there's one where a snake ate a fucking alligator.
What happens to their bones? Like, how do you?
Snakes?
I think they're cartilage based.
Probably. Yeah, and I think like
they're sure they have like a spine, right?
But I think that's like their only bones.
Yeah.
Everything else can.
Everything else can like give.
And they can like unhinge their jaw, so it's like snakes are basically just a head on a spine. Like they don't.
They're a long stomach.
Yeah.
That's what they are. A long muscular stomach.
I remember me and Trey used to stay up like really late at night, and I'd always like debate about like what would happen if a snake ate itself.
Yeah, Collin was very, very intrigued by this.
I mean, I was just like...
He was convinced that the snake would, like, completely just... I think the consensus was, like, come back to its normal state. Like, after eating itself, somehow it would, like...
It would flip
but in
out.
reality, it would just, like...
No, and then we Googled
it. It would just be like, I hate myself.
He got mad at me, and so we Googled it, and so it was like, yeah, snakes do this sometimes, and they just stop. And he was like, you see, they just stop. And I'm like, but what if it didn't? Like
what if it kept going?
Well, I think it would just go out of existence. Like, it would...
It'd kill itself.
It would just eat itself until it was... And then it would just disappear.
That's the only
That's one way
way
to
you
go
can make
out.
matter truly disappear without decay.
Have a snake eat it. And then eat itself.
Have a snake eat itself.
Damn, that's crazy. What if the snake like is time traveling, bro?
I got really traumatized when I was little because I watched an episode of Billy and Mandy where Billy turns himself into chocolate and eats himself.
I love that episode.
It is an episode.
I never
Billy
really
is
watched
a mood
that
in
show
that episode,
that much.
but
I like the episode with that giant brain alien. And then, like, he couldn't eat Billy's brain because it was really fucking small.
Yeah.
So Billy, like, ended up becoming his slave boy to go get more people with bigger brains and just fed it to him.
bro, that show is fucked up in a lot of amazing ways.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. That show was on, like, for me personally, it was, like, lower end on the tier list.
Oh,
I mean,
I
in Invader
love
Zim,
Billy
he
and
straight up harvested kids' organs in the school.
I never watched that show. Like, that show was never... I don't know.
What was there was
It's been having, like,
another
a resurgence.
Yeah, no, there's a new series on Netflix.
Yeah, it's
I
not
thought it's just
It's a movie.
just a special.
It's a movie.
Yeah, it's actually a really good movie.
Because I know, like, Invaders, it only went in one season, but it got, like, this cult following, and so Netflix was
I
like,
liked it because, I don't know, it just developed my dark humor, I guess. Like, that's what it did for a lot of people.
Early
That
2000s kids.
Yeah, that, Billy and Mandy,
Yeah, there was a spin-off
Cow and
show.
Chicken, Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, there was a spin-off show of Billy and Mandy too. Well, maybe not a spin-off, but it was like same universe by the same people.
Really?
And it was about like there was a brain that existed inside of like this dumbass bear.
Oh, yeah.
I know
I
what you're
forget what
talking
it was
about.
called.
Something evil. Something of evil.
It's gonna bother me if I don't know its name. Like, that's because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that show wasn't as good as Billy and Mandy.
Oh,
but
no.
But
there were crossover episodes.
I think it actually started with that show, and then it like became Billy.
Really?
and Mandy. Yeah.
Okay, because I know there have been characters that appeared in
Evil
those.
con carne.
Yeah. Something evil.
Evil con carne.
Evil con carne.
Doesn't that mean like? Wait, like is that one word or does that mean
Evil with meat. Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Evil with beef. You hear that?
I don't speak Italian.
It's like the brain is like all
Yeah.
angry all the
And
time.
it was trapped inside of like a bear, like a purple ass bear.
Yeah,
or
the
something.
bear's
It was
all
just
dumb.
stupid as shit, bro. The only worthwhile thing to come out of Billy and Mandy, besides just like traumatizing me, was Fred Burger.
I love Fred Burger. I like Irwin too, the little
Fred
black dude.
Yeah,
He's chill. I like him.
Fred Burger, I feel, occupies a very similar space to
Uncle Grandpa.
No, he occupies a similar space to Cheese from
Oh, Foster's Home.
Foster's Home
Foster's,
with
yeah.
Imaginary Friends.
I feel
that show fucking.
I don't know. I like
that
Fred
show.
Fred-
Yeah.
I like Fred Burger a little bit more just because he's straight up, I gotta go poop, and like just goes to the bathroom and takes a fat shit in the middle of like jury duty. It's so good.
Bro.
He's like, I gotta
so
go.
gross.
If I ever get called
I'm
to
laughing.
jury duty, I'm gonna do that.
I got called to jury duty.
Did you do it?
No.
Same.
What was it for? They're like, oh yeah, this is for a.
Because it was while I was, it was right after I turned 18 too. I got called to jury duty, but that was when I was on my discipleship program, and so I didn't actually live in the area, so I got like a pass for it.
What happens if you don't?
If you don't get a pass for it,
No, yeah. Like if you
you
get
have to go.
It's a legal thing.
Yeah, like it is
Do you
part
get
of
arrested
your.
or what?
It's technically a federal thing.
Yeah, like
Fuck.
you would
Yeah.
get in a lot of trouble if you didn't show up.
Wait,
Yeah.
how do I know when I'm supposed to go?
They
They'll
give
send you
you a
something
letter
right now.
and an email,
Man, I'll check
and they
my
make
mail.
they make it known. They're like, this is the time.
Call me, bro.
We'll give you an excuse for work and school.
Just
No, they don't
better
give you
show
an excuse
up.
for work.
They don't.
Awesome.
No, if you're just working, like if you were to get called to jury duty right now, like
They'd just
you'd
be
have
like,
to
too
do
bad. I mean, that's fine.
There are a few exceptions, like if school and like I think there are a few other exceptions, but like
It'd probably be over some boring shit. You know what I mean?
yeah, usually
And,
it's
like-
over boring shit.
Like usually, whenever you get there, if it's like a sensitive topic matter, like you could just go home. Like
Really?
you can opt out of it. If it's like okay,
If
this
it's a
dude-
murder case
yeah,
or
this
something
dude
like
murdered
that.
this person. Is anybody biased? You could just straight up say you're biased and leave.
That's my friend. I'm a go.
Yeah, no. And here's the thing. I would fucking love to have jury duty right now because I ain't got shit to do. So it's like, just go in and just
Decipher a case.
yeah, that'd be fun. It's like, I mean, I don't know, maybe not fun, but it would be interesting.
It'd be something to do. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I just
no.
wouldn't want it to be over something boring.
Yeah, no. If I'm going in, it better be
I
on
better
like
be
some.
on like an OJ case.
Yeah, I
or
was just
something.
about to say I better be on some OJ shit if I'm gonna go in for jury duty. You know, like,
Dude, that'd be entertaining as fuck. I'd love that.
No, I read this one thing about like there was some case. It was I don't know if it was somebody famous. It might have been Bundy, but like they were all the jurors of that case were shown all the stuff that happened, and all of them had to go to like therapy and shit afterwards.
That's not surprising.
Over of like seeing images or what?
Yeah, like overseeing images and like videos or whatever the fuck or like, the shit that he did.
Certain like assault cases, like sexual assault in particular, actually don't have open jury. It's usually just a judge because they really can't give access to a lot of people to go to therapy after because it is necessary to show all evidence.
Yeah.
And if that's recording, if that's audio file, if that's drawings, they show it all. So actually, some cases are judge only without with like certain jurors.
Yeah, I mean.
Just
Yeah,
to
that's
avoid.
understandable.
Yeah.
Because I mean, imagine having to pay for so many people to go to therapy. It's
Yeah,
like,
that would suck.
Man, who needs therapy?
I just put my problems deep within me and then get angry and sad for no reason.
Uh-oh.
Stinky.
Digest those butterflies, you motherfucker.
What?
But like, I don't know. That shit's crazy. Like, imagine just being like chilling out at work one day and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I've got to work the OJ case. Bye. Like,
So good.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I always just like daydream. I'll just be like in Domino's because I also work there, and I'll just be like, bro, what if like I was in the back and someone was like, I need all the fucking money, and I like ran outside around the store and then like choked him out or something. I'd be like, hell yeah.
I think a little bit too much about like how much of a hero I would be if like there was like a school shooting. But
Yeah.
I know like in reality, like someone
I'm
busting
running.
with the gun.
I'm
right
running.
now,
Oh,
like,
when the food fight happened, I was on my way down. I was on my way down from the freshman pod because I was about to check out. All I heard from the cafeteria was banging, like loud banging and screaming.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I thought it was a shooting, so I ran into the bathroom and I hid until
I mean,
I saw
that's
food
understandable.
getting tossed down the hallway.
I mean,
and I
people
came
got
out.
arrested at
Like
that thing.
I was like, I heard, and like I thought it was gunshots.
I
I was like,
completely missed that. I
was
missed that
awful.
food.
I
fight.
caught the edge of it because it was like
That was sea lunch, right?
it was C lunch.
Yeah.
I had B lunch, and so I was
Yeah.
like walking away.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I heard shit going down, but by the time I had like run back and see what was going on, like it was basically being wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, people got arrested for that. What's his face? Like Zach Cripps, he lost his scholarship
yeah,
for
I did
that.
hear about that.
Like he had I don't know if it was full ride or what, but he was gonna play quarterback for A&M Kingsville, and that happened. And I don't know if he specifically got arrested, but he lost his scholarship for that.
I'm just glad Mr. Scott got pecked in the head with an apple. That was pretty fucking funny, not gonna lie. Like after hearing that happened to him, I was like,
Mr. Scott was the only like principal that like treated me with any respect. Like what?
He was the blonde one, right?
he was the bald
Who
one.
was the bald one?
Oh.
Who was the? I don't think we had a
Mr.
blonde
Scott.
one.
Mr. He has that like Crip edit of him. When he's like tatted, his face is all tatted and everything.
What?
That was dope. There were some other ones.
It's so good.
Dr. Ruiz, he always treated me like shit.
Dr. Ruiz did that to everybody, I think.
I was lucky enough to not really have that many interactions with.
I was never in trouble. I just had so many absences in high school.
That was like the only thing that ever.
I just showed them an image of Mr. Scott with his crib edit. It's quite beautiful.
He's got the 6'9".
He also has waves.
Our principal had like a cult following.
Oh, Gail?
Hail Gail.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah, so our principal, her name was Miss Love, which is an amazing name, by the way, but everyone just called her Gail. Like, only freshmen called her Miss Love. And so we would make, like, edits and shit. Like, she just had these weird, like, quirks. Like, she would always, like, even if there was, like, a little bit of, like, if it was drizzling, she'd be like, there was some inclement weather outside every fucking time. And she'd, like, have to get on the PA. And like
school.
Yeah.
No hoverboard.
No hoverboards. She'd have to like get on the PA and announce shit all the time. And then a lot of people do this, but like specifically when she did it at Irk she'd always be like, Clea Springs, I need to ask you a question.
Axe.
Yeah, those were all the
and so things. And she was the most fucking strict principal in like the entire district. Like apparently like the new principal at Springs, everyone fucking loves this guy.
He's really chill. He came from View.
Yeah, so Gail, what fucking Gail would do, which like shout out Gail, I don't hate you or anything, but like I think you could have ran the school better. Like homecoming, like apparently they actually had a homecoming dance this year. What they did when we were in high school, they would straight up every year they would just be like, all right, we're gonna let the student government like decide how we're gonna do the homecoming dance and come up with like all these cool ideas, and it's gonna be so much fun. And then like they'd come up with all these cool ideas, and Gail would just be like, nah, we're just gonna do like a regular dance, and because all these ideas are lame. And then like 4 people would buy tickets to the homecoming dance and they'd cancel it. It happened every single year that I was in high school, that we were in high school.
I remember all of that too. Like, just I remember during the election time, whenever "I'm with her" was a slogan, and then people photoshopped her face onto shirts and said "I'm with her," or like "I'm with Gail, hail Gail." Hail, it was like Gail. It was so good. Did you know? I'm sure. When Jake would wear the Jesus outfit to the football games and everything, and just all the Gail signs and everything that everybody had. It was a religious experience
of Gail. Yeah, no.
Especially because our senior year, we just fucking murdered everyone. Like
that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, senior year of high school was fucking crazy. Like, I was on the football team, but there were times where I almost wished I was in the crowd because I just like look up and Jake was dressed as Moses and he would part the crowd with the staff, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Like, I was just under the bleachers hitting like Nords and shit because I was retarded.
Like Nords?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a nicotine device.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a vape.
I was like, NordVPN?
No, it's like a vape. I was just doing that at homecoming games because I was dumb.
Yeah, no, like, honestly, and then Jake graduated and no one cared about the whole football thing as much.
Yeah, we were the last.
You remember Whataburger?
Bro.
I remember the
Whataburger riots?
Yes, that was horrible.
I showed up, like 5 people got arrested.
I showed up midway through, and then it got really bad, and right when it was getting bad, I was like, I'm about to head out. And then that's when the cops immediately showed up, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I'm very lucky with that. Like, in my life, I've always had a very good sense of, like, anytime I've had a party, and it's like, this is getting too crazy. Yeah, this can't sustain it.
So, let me tell you, what happened with me was, football players, we couldn't just go straight from the stadium to Whataburger. We had to go back to the locker rooms, change into our clothes, then we'd all go to Whataburger. Because it was a tradition.
Yeah.
If y'all aren't in Texas or like aren't from like the League City area.
It's a thing.
It's like a tradition, especially for Clear Springs against our rivals, Creek and Friendswood. Mm-hmm. You fuck up Whataburger.
We went to their Whataburgers and fucked shit up.
Yeah.
And
Friendswood,
we beat them, and
well, that's the Whataburger everyone. Clear Springs and Friendswood High School both have a tradition of going to the same Whataburger after they won every game. And so when we played each other, we called it the Battle for Whataburger.
Or the Battle for 518.
That was against Creek, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But we called it the Battle for Whataburger, and the losing team couldn't go to Whataburger after the game.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so like after Clear Springs versus Clear Creek, which is like our biggest rivalry.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. People are starting riots inside of this Whataburger. Like, they stole pictures off the wall. They stole a tea urn. There was like drinks getting thrown across it.
Dude.
I think
those poor workers.
I always felt so bad for Evan.
I think we know a
Oh,
guy,
boy.
Coasty. I think his pinned tweet on Twitter is still the Whataburger like tea thing that he has in his house, and it's like him filling it up.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still his thing, but
It's like, no, so it was insane. And I'm hearing about this a little bit as a player. Like, I'm just seeing shit on Twitter. I'm like, oh, damn.
I'm so glad I left before it got that bad.
I didn't know how bad it was. I just saw that
bad.
it was like crazy. So it's like, damn, I'm going to pull up to Whataburger. What I do, I pull up in my truck. I look.
in my truck.
In my truck, boy. That was back before I fucking totaled that thing. But I look. The first thing I see is outside of the Whataburger, this guy Coasty is climbing on top of a cop car.
Yeah.
I see that and I just go, nothing good can come of this. I back out, I turn around, and I went across the street to Taco Bell.
Yeah, me trying to leave that Whataburger that night, there were so many people in the parking lot that
I walked home.
I had driven there, so I had to drive out. So I was just like,
having it.
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, no, so, like, if you're not from Texas high school football ain't no fucking joke.
No,
like,
it's not.
People go fucking crazy for that shit. Our stadium could seat 12,000 people and had a jumbotron.
I'd like to go to a Springs game sometime since the stadium
I
is
haven't
right
been there
there.
in a long time.
Just for fun. Well, like, I've always known that I wanted to go back to at least one more Springs game.
I've only seen
at some point.
I've only seen one game at Challenger Columbia as a fan. It was Homecoming 2018, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like,
Did they win?
yeah, it was against fucking like Falls or something.
Of course.
No, I was about to say Falls probably got cream.
Falls is a
not
bottom
even-
5 school.
Are
in
they
the
still
state.
that bad?
They're better now, but I think Spring still beat them like 60-0.
I mean,
this
it's
year.
like going from shit to shit with sprinkles. Like, you
Yeah.
can't. It's still shit.
My little cousin goes to Clear Falls now, and like he was trying to talk shit, like, oh, we've got a good team this year, and I was just like, he's like, are you gonna come to the game? I was like, no, I don't want to witness some murder. And he was just like, bro, Falls is gonna win this year. We've got a chance. And I was like, okay.
Listen, youngling.
And then like I think it was like they kind of kept up at first, like
They were doing something.
yeah, like they scored 2 touchdowns to our 3 at first, and then just fucking
It would.
ran away with it. Yeah, so we're talking about fucking high school now, so it's probably
we've
about
gone
time
through
to
the wire.
wrap it up and whatnot. But I mean, yeah, like fuck, it's been almost an hour and 50 minutes now.
Yeah, it's been a good podcast, fellas.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Any last things you want to say?
Yeah, you want to shout out social media, anything like that?
I mean, if anybody wants to follow me, my Instagram is Tony Likes Music, and I mean, I have a Twitter. The ad is Give Me Your Cello, but I don't really post there very much. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty chill. I just do dominoes and music and shit. So that's me.
Nice. But yeah, thanks for listening. It's been a nice little talk.
It's been a real pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for
Go
having
listen
me
to
on.
Jesus is King.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
yeah,
no problem.
no problem, Tony. So yeah, all right, I'm gonna end this. Peace.